So it's expected in our society that you will, in all likelihood, create a birth plan and aim to plan some elements of your birth. For autistic people, planning can help us feel calmer, can help us feel in control. It can help us feel empowered particularly as pregnancy progresses and birth comes closer. It can help us feel that we are prepared for that upcoming massive event. But society tends to suggest that we create just one birth plan for our ideal birth. So that might be a home birth with minimal interventions and a midwife that you know, or it might be a planned cesarean. What can be particularly helpful for autistic people is rather than planning on one outcome, you can actually create birth plans for multiple outcomes. So we can start off with a birth plan A that would be your ideal, your preference, be that home birth, be that planned cesarean, or anything in between. But you can go on to create a birth plan B, which is if things change slightly. So it might be if you are planning a home birth with minimal interventions, it might be if you need to travel into your birth venue for your safety or your baby's safety. It might be if you request a stronger pain relief. If you're planning a cesarean, it might be if you're in your birth venue and labour starts naturally, you start experiencing contractions. What might you do around that? You can progress on then to create a birth plan C. Birth plan C is then if things are deviating even more. So if you're planning a physiological birth with minimal interventions, it might be if the safest option for birth becomes a cesarean or becomes an assisted birth where forceps or ventouse are offered. If you're planning a cesarean, it might be if it's medically necessary that you have a general anaesthetic rather than a local anaesthetic, or it might be that labour progresses very quickly and actually a cesarean isn't going to be a viable option for birth. So making plans around that. And then your plan D is if things go completely differently. So it might be that there is some kind of emergency. It might be that baby needs to be separated from the person giving birth. Those kind of eventualities that are the least likely but are still possible. So for us, by creating plans around this, it can mean that at any moment, anything that is offered to you is something that you've likely at least had a glancing thought about and how you might cope and prepare for that. I hope you find this helpful. I hope you go on to make excellent birth plans and have the birth that you want. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.